How troops of Nigerian military raided over 300 communities in Southeast. They displaced 180,000 residents. Welcome back to Biafra News. Support Biafra, people of goodwill. Ada Biafra here. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening to you. Depending on where you're watching me from, Biafrans, I bring you another update. Lovers of freedom, people of goodwill. A lot is going on in Biafra land that we are fighting against. Nigeria terrorist army are in Southeast. They're looking for what is not looking for them. And we still have, on the other hand, we still have some gullible, fools and one Nigeria enabler, some Mongols, supporting the terrorists coming to Biafra land to terrorize Biafra land and kill Biafra mothers and children. You see them fighting against this terrorist in army uniform coming to Biafra land. And you ask yourself, what exactly are they fighting for? You hear them talk about Biafra, but they are supporting those terrorizing Biafra land. Well, Biafrans, before I continue with this very update, this is not the first time. Amnesty International has also reported countless times the atrocities of Nigeria terrorist army in Southeast. I'd like to welcome all the new and old subscribers. If you're coming across my channel for the first time, please kindly click the red subscribe button, turn on the notification bell right beside it to enable you get notification once I upload a new video. Don't forget to share, tune in once you get notification. So this very update is coming from Sahara Reporters. Told you people that Nigeria terrorist army are in Southeast terrorizing Biafra land. Certain buildings are ablaze, invading communities. You hear them talk about insecurity. You hear Musa talk about insecurity in Southeast, how they are going to cope insecurity. You ask yourself, who are those causing insecurity? They accused Biafra Prime Minister Musa Simon of instigating violence and terrorizing Southeast, causing insecurity in Southeast. Now that he's not in the picture for now, who are those causing insecurity in Biafra land? Who are those terrorizing Biafra land? That is why gallant men are in Biafra land doing the needful, and that the reason Biafrans are supporting them is because they are fighting off those coming to Biafra land to terrorize Biafrans and kill Biafra mothers and children, kidnap Biafran youth. Well, Biafrans, will go straight to this very update, so pay attention as we continue. The news headline said how troops of Nigerian military raided over 300 communities in Southeast, displaced 180,000 residents. All right. The military authorities who have been condemned for the militarization of a region were accused of burning down over 6,000 houses and displacing at least 180,000 residents. Remember the time Nigeria terrorist army was bombarding Imo State, bombarding buildings and properties of Biafrans in Imo State. Amnesty International reported it. This is not propaganda or lies. Some of you always say, oh, we're playing victim card. You ask yourself, the things Nigeria terrorist army are doing in Southeast, are they doing it in other places? Like their checkpoint. And this checkpoint, they facilitate the disappearance of Biafrans at this very checkpoint. They humiliate and intimidate Biafrans at this very checkpoint. This checkpoint also in the west or in the north, only in Southeast. You hear them talk about it in the House of Representatives or House of Assembly, but they're not doing anything. They only talk. The reason gallant men will continue to neutralize Nigeria terrorist army mounting checkpoint, extortion, killing and the kidnapping point everywhere in Southeast. We do not need them in Biafra land. We have made it clear, and Biafra has been redeclared. Nigeria terrorist army have no place in Biafra land, and they have no right to be in Southeast. They should go to the north and curb the terrorism and insecurity going on there. People are being displaced and being sacked from their communities in the north. But Nigeria terrorist army, especially Musa, always talk about insecurity in Southeast. Well, we must continue. The Nigerian military in its continued onslaughts on the Southeast state have allegedly raided no fewer than 300 Igbo communities under the guise of fishing out members of the indigenous people of Biafra IPOB members. A new report has revealed who are the indigenous people of Biafra IPOB. Biafrans, Igbos in Southeast that no longer want to be part of Nigeria. We have made it clear that we no longer want to be part of Nigeria. Unity is not by force. The amalgamation that forced Ndibo or indigenous people of Biafra to that zoo called Nigeria has expired since 2014. And the Lugard made it clear in the amalgamation that after 100 years, if you want to exit, you're free to do so. But the Fulanese and the Sem Britain do not want to hear about Biafra. They don't want you to talk about Biafra or Biafra sitting from that zoo. Nigeria don't want to move forward. Nigeria is not moving forward. You're seeing the economy, right? People are suffering. And they want us to remain in that zoo. Why are they fishing out, like they said? Why are they looking for indigenous people of Biafra? Ndibo wants nothing but total exit from Nigeria. So why are they coming to Southeast? What is their crime? Now the indigenous people of Biafra, they are claiming to fish out. What is their crime? Asking for freedom, saying they no longer want to be part of Nigeria. Is unity by force? No, freedom is every human's fundamental right, and that is what we are fighting for. But you hear it? They have raided, Nigeria Terrorist Army have raided more than 300 communities. Nigeria Terrorist Army they have raided more than 300 Igbo communities under the guise of fishing out members of the indigenous people of Biafra, IPOB. It's not that the world, they are not seeing, international communities are not seeing all these things, but due to their selfish gain and benefit, they are quiet. Nigeria broke international law. The Nigerian human right violation is the heap is very high, but they are not doing anything. And they want us to fold our hands and watch them come to our land, kill us, and go unchallenged. Gone are the days they did that. It's no longer business as usual. No matter what is going on, we'll continue to defend our land, protect lives and properties of Biafrans. The reason Biafrans need to remain focused, because the enemies are not sleeping. They are still trying. Gallant men on ground doing the needful needs our support. The reason you should not and should never allow yourself to be distracted. Remain focused. If not for them, Biafra land would have been overrun and taken over by the Fulanese. Well, we must continue. Saripota said a new report has reviewed the military authorities who have been condemned for the militarization of the region were accused of burning down over 6,000 houses and displacing at least 180,000 residents. The report was released on Sunday by the International Society of the Civil Liberties and Rule of Law, Inter-Society, and titled Nigeria Ocean of Innocent Blood Flowing in the East and the Human Rights Made in Nigeria. The new report chronicled the secret arrest and the trial of Southeast residents in 7 states of Niger, Kogi, Nasarawa, Benue, Kaduna, Zamfara, and FCT, Abuja, while alleging that all the residents were dumped to die or objected to kangaroo trials inside the Wawa Army cantonment in Niger State. Are you hearing it? Are you hearing this? The new report chronicles the secret arrest and the trial of a Southeast resident in 7 states of Niger, Kogi, Nasarawa, Benue, Kaduna, Zamfara, and FCT, Abuja, while alleging that other residents were dumped to die or subjected to kangaroo trials inside the Wawa Army cantonment in Niger State. Are you hearing that? See what Biafrans are passing through in that zoo? The reason we must leave that contraption for the Fulanese. Is there any Fulani headsman in prison? Is there any Fulani bandit in prison? Is there any Boko Haram in prison? The ones they claim they captured or that surrendered, they are all reintegrated into the military. They will come to Southeast, kidnap youth, kidnap Biafrans, and take them to the north. And some of them will die, nobody will know. Many are still missing. Nobody knows their whereabouts up to date. Biafran youths that were kidnapped since 2012, 2013, 14, 15 till date, their whereabouts is still unknown. These are the things going on in Southeast. And some of you gullible one Nigerianist and one Nigerian enablers will target playing victim. Are you people serious? Well, Biafra has been redeclared, and we will continue to defend our land until all Nigeria terrorists are flushed out of Southeast, because freedom is every human's fundamental right, and that freedom is what we seek and fighting for, and we must take it because it's not being given. The oppressors can never give you freedom. We must continue. We must continue. The report partly read, the ocean of innocent blood flowing in the south, in the east, present a graphic, shocking, and chilling account of the Nigerian military and all the security forces, police, cracking squad, secret police, Sub-state actor, killer vigilante, and the killer government task force. Siege and the terror. Armed state actor conduct atrocities in the southeast since August 2015. In further capture, the untold story of what is going on in the region where, with regard to violent criminal activities by armed non-state actors, including government-linked and non-government-linked armed non-state actors. Relatedly, the human right made in Nigeria is a compilation of a relevant and available local, regional, and international human rights, humanitarian and universal human rights and rule of law, compliant legal provisions, and the safeguards regulating the lawful and the unlawful conduct and activities of armed citizens in Nigeria or any part thereof, including armed state adults and armed non-state adults and their commanders or leaders, aiders and abettors. Ocean of innocent blood flowing in the east is fundamentally targeted and disposing external and internal forces found to have been responsible for the present war zone situation of the southeast and the south-south region of eastern Nigeria. The war zone state of public and the citizen security and the safety and their properties, including grisly and egregious human rights violations and abuses. Egregious human rights violation and abuses, mass and the targeted killings and the property burnings outside the law, body lucrations, abductions, disappearance, torture, and other inhuman or degrading treatment or punishment, and the security sector duty post, corruption, particularly military, police, and the paramilitary roadblock, and the barrack extortions, and the other atrocities by armed non-state actors. Many non-state actors involved are found to have been procured and clandestinely sponsored by external state actors and their conspirator internal state actors, both armed and unarmed, including some past and present public office holders within and outside eastern Nigeria, particularly in the southeast, intellectually and phonetically identified in the murder report. Ocean of innocent blood flowing in the east are two sets of grievous crimes against defenseless persons, their properties, and the society, namely state actor crimes or state actor generated insecurity and other unsafe conditions, and non-state actor crimes or non-state actor generated insecurity and others unsafe conditions. The above highlighted heinous crimes are severally punishable and effectively controllable under Nigeria's criminal, human rights, and humanitarian laws or provisions, and their safeguards, including the treaty, laws, and Nigeria's regional and international obligations. Tens of thousands of defenseless citizens and their properties in the East have been killed or wantonly destroyed outside the law since August 2015, and the controversially labeled gun down IPOB ESN terrorists or oil thieves. The Nigerian Defense Headquarters, for instance, had on December 5th, 2024, claimed that it killed 666 IPOB/ESN terrorists from January to December 2024 alone. The ocean of innocent blood flowing in eastern Nigeria is a catalogue of how officers and the personnel of the armed forces, Army, Air Force, and the Navy, Police, and DSS use IPOB-ESN Biafra terrorism as a pretext to secretly massacre 22,500 unarmed civilians and openly kill 9,800 others, totaling over 32,300 between August 2015 and December 2024. Are you hearing that? Did you just hear what I just read now? Okay. Over 300 Igbo communities were raided, 6,000 civilian houses razed, 180,000 displaced, 1 million forced to abandon their homes and flee, 450 billion defenseless civilians' properties lost to military burning and destructions, 3 trillion, presently about 2 billion or previously about 5 billion, corruptly seized and illicitly pocketed at roadblocks and other gunpoint. In statistical conclusion, therefore, all the above indicated that the deployed Nigerian security forces and Army, Air Force, Navy, Police, DSS, sub-state ATO, vigilantes, and paramilitaries, the East atrociously killed members of defenseless civilian population dominated by Igbo citizens, more than twice higher than 32,300. Those killed by armed criminal entities, 14,500, who the security forces are deployed with public armed and funds to fish out, prosecute, and stop from harming them. The deployed security forces and their officers and personnel and high command were also found to have violently seized and illicitly pocketed by way of extortion and looting criminal monies and other properties over 3 trillion belonging to defenseless Eastern, almost 6 times higher than those seized and stolen by criminal entities. 550 billion the drafted security forces were further found to have burned down or destroyed civilian houses and other properties. 450 billion, over 7 times higher than those burned down or destroyed by criminal entity. About 60 billion. This report, my head is spinning. Seriously, reading this, my head is spinning. I'm telling you the honest truth. My head is seriously spinning up and down. Like, are these people serious? Are you hearing the amount? Are you hearing the amount of properties Nigeria Terrorist Army have destroyed in Southeast? Did you hear the amount? It will keep telling you these things, and the international communities, they are aware of all these things, but they keep quiet. And you gullible one Nigeria enablers and one Nigerianists want us to remain in that zoo. Is it also happening in your state? No, it's only in Southeast, because they believe that they can do whatever they want in Southeast. This is not coming from us. Like I said, this very news is coming from Sahara reporters. So we must continue. Let's finish this news. The reports were prepared by criminologist and chairman of a board of Intersociety, Emeka Umawalasi, and a team of lawyers, Chidimma, Chinwe, and others. Did you hear it? The reports were prepared by criminologists and the chairman of a board of Intersociety. Did you hear that? Their names were mentioned. But this report, there is nothing lie about it. I know that you, one Nigeria enabler, supporting those coming to Biafra land to terrorize Biafrans and kill Biafra mothers and children, will side them. The truth remains that these things are happening in Biafra land and nobody is doing anything. And if you don't do anything, nobody will come to your rescue. That is why we continue to resist Nigeria Terrorist Army until they are all flushed out of Biafra land. So that is it, Biafrans. I will stop here. Let me see if I can read a few comments. First person said Nigeria Army are doing Nigeria Army are doing the Southeast what terrorist bandits are doing in the Northeast and the North Central, killing innocent people, destroying homes and businesses, displacing communities in their thousands. So that is it, dear friends. I will stop here. Don't forget to share, like, leave your comments at the comment section, and please turn in once you get notification. Thank you all.